We get huge updates on the Vancouver Canucks top prospects, and this is exactly what fans want to hear, including their top prospect being closer to sign with this team than expected. We have a lot to break down in this episode, and you're not going to want to miss it. Before we get into that, I have an exciting announcement to bring to the channel. We're kicking off a March Madness bracket for the channel. We are partnered with the Hot Takes app and other digest channels for this event. It's completely free to sign up. Just download the Hot Takes app, click the March Madness banner at the top, and under group, select the Digest Media Pool. This is really exciting as there's over $25,000 in prizes to be won, and there's such a smaller pool of people participating, there's a real chance at winning big. Check out the link below or scan the QR code to download the app. Make sure to use the promo code DIGEST in all caps to get exclusive perks when signing in. The main event competition will start on March 16th, and if you have any trouble, reach out to us in the email that will be down below in the description. Once again, I want to give a huge thank you to Hot Take for partnering with us on this amazing competition. But with that, let's just hop straight into the episode today. And listen, we know the Vancouver Canucks have been struggling as of late to score goals. This is being recorded before the game tonight, so they could go out and score 7. But as of recording this video, the Vancouver Canucks sit number 7 on goals for per game. The teams ahead of them are the Chicago Blackhawks, the Minnesota Wild, Detroit Red Wings, and the Philadelphia Flyers. The teams below them, the Islanders, the Bruins, the Predators, the Ducks, the Sharks, and the Flames. The biggest thing is a lot of the teams below them are very low on the standings, and with the Canucks team inspired to win a Stanley Cup, they should be a lot higher when it comes to expected goals for, or just goals for that matter. Now, looking at the Canucks, we know there are a couple of UFAs. The Canucks did not target any big names in the trade deadline, but the Canucks do have a prospect that could fill the void, and it might happen sooner rather than later, and that is Jonathan Lekkerimaki. Now, looking at Jonathan Lekkerimaki, this is a name, if you're not new to the channel, that I talk about quite a bit. Jonathan Lekkerimaki was a 15th overall draft pick in 2022, and since he's joined the North American ice, he has been dominating in 32 games with the Absurd Canucks, 19 goals, 9 assists for 28 points in his first full season in North America. We've seen him play stints with the Canucks like he is playing tonight, and in 14 games, 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points. Jonathan Lekkerimaki is a pure goal scorer, and I think he's going to be able to fix this Canucks goal scoring problem a lot sooner than expected. I mean, looking at the Absurd Canuck in his first season, he is among some of the top and actually tied for the most goals with the team. Looking at the team, there is a couple players with more points than him. Atu Ratu's having a dominant year in the AHL and hopefully will jump up to the NHL at some point as a full-time player. But right now, he is tied for the team lead in goals with 19. Jonathan Lekkerimaki, who is still very young on this Vancouver Canucks team, only 20 years old, has been dominating the professional leagues for quite some time. We've seen him play with Abro HK in the Swedish Hockey League just last season, dominating while playing growing men. In the World Juniors, he was named the MVP, winning the silver medal after losing to, sadly, Team USA in the gold medal game, leading the entire tournament in goals as well. This kid has star potential written all over him, and we're going to see him really develop with this team, and especially with him getting more ice time on this third pairing. Now, a third line. As I said, this could change as the video goes on or as the game ends tonight. But right now, playing with Hedel and DeBrusk, I think there's a lot of chemistry that can really grow with this group, and that third line especially. Looking at Lekkerimaki playing with a play driver like Hedel and a goal scorer like DeBrusk, I think it's going to open up a lot of ice for him to get into his groove, get more goals, and be able to really demonstrate what he is as a player. As you see with this Canucks team, they do have a lot of players that are offensively gifted. Pettersson, Boeser, and I know a lot of people are going to laugh when I say Pettersson, but he had a 102-point season. Garland has been incredible this year. DeBrusk, this team does have a lot of scores, but I do think Lekkerimaki can become that exact piece the Vancouver Canucks truly need. And listen, they do have some UFAs on the forward group that could end up walking in free agency or be signed or extended before this matter. But looking at Brock Boeser leaving and someone like Pius Suter, who isn't going to be as good as a goal scorer as Brock Boeser, you're still losing 2 key pieces, 2 players playing in your top 6 right now, if they both walk in free agency. And I think this is where a big factor in Jonathan Lekkerimaki's development will help the Canucks next season. Now listen, what's your guys' thoughts on this? I know he's a former 15th overall pick. I know he's getting his first taste of NHL action this season, but with the way he's been dominating with the Abbotsford Canucks, with the way he's dominated in every single league he's been in, I would not be shocked if he scores a minimum of 20 goals next year as a full-time player in their top 6. And if Boeser leaves, maybe he becomes their leading goal scorer. I know that's a little far-fetched for a full season in the NHL, but this kid I'm super high on. But what's your guys' thoughts on Jonathan Lekkerimaki's development? What do you think his career high will be in goals next season? As I said, I think he's going to be a 20 goal scorer once he gets his groove going. 2 goals in 14 games in his first stint. It's only going to get a lot better. What are your guys' thoughts on Jonathan Lekkerimaki? Go down and let me know down below. Now listen, that's not only the prospect news that I had to bring up today. The other one is a little bigger, where we do know that Tom Willander is getting close to finishing and concluding his season in college hockey. Now we know that his agent has said they weren't going to discuss or decide anything until the Boston University season has concluded, but we'll see how they do in the Hockey East tournament and hopefully the NCAAs afterwards. The Hockey East single elimination playoffs start on March 12th, which is tomorrow as I'm recording this. The finals take place on the 21st, followed by the NCAA regionals, and March 27th to 30th, the Frozen Four from April 10th to 12th. BU is ranked number 10, so depending on how far BU, Boston University, goes in this tournament, we might see Tom Willander sign a contract and join this Canucks team a lot sooner than some people expected. We've seen Brock Boeser, Hughes both join the Canucks after their second season in college concluded, so maybe we see Willander finish this, and with the dates right there, we're getting a rough estimate when we expect him to join this team. Now, Tom Willander, once again, if you're not new to the channel, you know Tom Willander. Tom Willander, in my opinion, is the best Canucks prospect. A mobile, huge defenseman, 6'1", 180 pounds. He has grown since this card. But looking at him in Boston University, 21 points in 33 games this year, 2 goals, 19 assists. We've seen him play in the World Juniors this year where he's dominated. His slap shot has got better. He's become a mobile shutdown defenseman that has an incredible two-way game. This kid is going to be a top 4 defenseman and honestly might be able to develop into a top 3 or top 2 defenseman. Right-handed shot, which adds so much more value. I mean, we've seen Patrik Allvin said they don't want to move on from any of their top prospects, and Tom Willander was definitely on this list. Now, looking at the fact of Boston University, he does sit about 7th on the scoring for this team. Tom Willander joining this team will add a big boost to the Canucks, not maybe this season, but for the seasons to come. This is going to be a key piece on the back end where we do see most of the guys locked up for next season. Derek Forbort is a UFA going into next year. Noah Juleson, most likely, maybe not, will be resigned. But looking at the group, on the right side, you're getting a lot of young pieces to add. Listen, Filip Hronek is still only 27 years old. Tyler Myers, it's getting up in age. Victor Mancini, who they acquired in the JT Miller trade, is another piece that looks great. I mean, we see Junior Petey playing well on the back end. Elias Pettersson looks outstanding. And Quinn Hughes is a Norris winner and the best defenseman in the NHL. Adding Tom Willander to this group only makes the Canucks team better. And listen, Canucks fans, it's getting close. As I said, you can pause, you can read through the dates again. March 21st, we might see Tom Willander sign a contract. And at the very worst, after the Frozen Four on April 10th to 12th, we will see, and I'm calling it right now, we will see Tom Willander sign with his team, make his debut for the Canucks. He probably will spend the playoffs in Abbotsford, but there's a strong chance that Tom Willander jumps straight onto this team going into next season. And if he doesn't, listen, he's going to develop. He's a shutdown defenseman that has a great two-way game that's going to be able to grow with this team for the future. But what's your guys' thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on the Vancouver Canucks future going forward? Do you think Jonathan Lekkerimaki is going to be the next goal scorer that can step up and grow with this team and maybe score 20-plus goals next year? What's your thoughts on Tom Willander? Are you excited? And who's your top 5 Canucks prospects? So listen, these guys are my 1A and 1B for sure. But that'd be it for this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go down and hit the like, subscribe, share this with your friend. Once again, shout out the Hot Takes for just partnering with us with the awesome experience. But once again, if you enjoyed it, like. But that'd be it for this episode. I've been your host, Mark Pye, and take care.